Great. Hello, y'all. Hey, this is High Priestess Jamila. God. Hello. I'm not going to be here long, but I was sitting here having a moment. First of all, happy Wednesday to y'all. Chances are, if you're an empath, you're probably at home. Just guessing. If you are an empath, you are probably at home, okay? Because everybody is not empathic. And I found that out today. And so I'm listening to this motivate peace and positive energy. And I'm trying to like ground and center my emotions because I was exploring the um the home tab of my YouTube, and God, I feel all congested now. And I stumble upon this little baby. He lived until he was 5 years old. Um, and his name is Jackson Mueller. Is his name? He lived until he was 5. And I have a habit of reading through the comments of the video that I watch. I just do that automatically. It's sort of a way to, if it's not really anything interesting on camera, then you can just kind of, I guess listen and just read the comments. So the comments were so evil and negative. Sorry, guys, I'm a little congested because I had like a really deep, empathic, emotional moment with that child. He passed away a month ago, and I felt like a lot of different energies coming from that child. Like somehow um, I ended up connecting with his spirit. Okay, and so I got like all of this information from him. By the way, he was telepathic, and the area of his brain that he did have was like very telepathic. And so I started to communicate with him. And sorry, guys, give me a second because I need to. I felt all of the hatred for that child and the hatred for the parents and I guess the confusion behind it. And so it got me to thinking, like, if you were pregnant with a child that you knew would come into this world with challenges, would you still give birth to that baby? And what would be the right thing to do? Would the right thing to do be to abort the child? And I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that the right thing to do would be just to abort, because what I could feel from his spirit was that, because I'm a medium, guys, it's so hard sometimes. I have to be careful with some of the videos that I watch because they can really trigger, but it all has its meaning. Um so there, I guess there was this debate on whether or not this child should have been born. And I think that that's just sort of a part of the evil in this world, the narcissism, that everybody has to look the same, and that he wasn't normal. You know what I'm saying? Because literally 80% of his brain was missing, and it's very hard to look at him, but I think that I felt so much negative energies and bad spirits about it around him. And it wasn't him, it was just the hatred and the negativity. And so, what I could feel from communicating with this child spirit, who he actually lived until he was 5 years old, and doctors, gave him a very, doctors didn't give him much of a chance. They didn't, of course, that's how a doctor would think. But looking deeper into it, when I connected to his spirit, um, something happened that caused this to happen. Oh, my heart chakra. That he was born with these so-called deformities, and so I did look at some of the video footage that the parents put up of him, and people, the way that they perceived him was that he was suffering. First of all, he was not suffering. His life was not suffering. Even though he looked different, doesn't mean that he was suffering. He enjoyed every moment of his life that he was here, is what I want to say. And so people will look at something like that, and they will assume the worst. Hey, Scorpio witch, hi, beautiful, how you doing? Um, People will assume the worst and just go straight to the negative. And the way that I saw it was that he was just trying to live the life that was dealt to him in this life, right? That's what it felt like to me. Didn't I mean, obviously he's, if you were, if you had those kinds of things like that, right? The way that, you know what I'm saying, but and so but you could just tell that he was, at least he was trying, you know what I'm saying? And so I just thought it was really sad that people didn't get it. Like, you don't just, and so they were mad at him being born, and they were upset with his parents because his parents were encouraging people not to just abort their child if they had that condition, which please excuse me, I don't know the name of the condition. But what his spirit was telling me was that he may have looked different, but he still wanted to live. So that's what I could feel from him. That I could feel, and I could hear him communicating it. I don't, for some reason, it just all of a sudden just popped up in my homepage of YouTube from a month ago. And so I tried to not let it in, but it came through, and I got really emotional about it because I think that people can be so evil and cruel, and they were just throwing negative energy at the parents and all kind of stuff. I saw a comment that the father had been arrested for a DUI or something. I guess if you're dealing with a child born with that, you know what I'm saying, born that special. But what I can tell you is that even if somebody has those kinds of deformities and stuff, they still want to live. They still want life, even though they look different, even though they may have challenges. So, you know, I don't know. It's so strange how people think that they sort of have the right to place value on life, or and they feel that they have the right to judge. You know what I'm saying? Like what would be, who should be here. So obviously the mother she probably went to get an ultrasound, and they realized that she had that. And of course they probably did encourage her to, to end the pregnancy. They probably did. But she decided to keep going, and what from what I can feel, it was because of his will to come into this world. So he was born, he lived until he was only 5. He probably could have lived longer if society wasn't so freaking evil and narcissistic. Like, goodness. I mean, I'm not saying that I am not grateful for, appearing to be normal, but I just think that he's a spirit. Whenever you come into this world, you're a spirit, and your physical form may not necessarily be perfect, like, how people want. So I think that no, you know what? I wouldn't care. I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't care if I were born like that child. I would still want life. I would still want to live. Like, people think they can just judge like somebody else's quality of life based upon what they look like, and I think that that's what leads to a lot of the prejudices and stuff. Because I was really I got emotional when I was reading the comments, and people that are just not understanding like what life really is, and people that come into this world and why why they're born, why they are here, and so I don't know. Um it's really, really, really hard to look at a child born that way, but I think that, so if you were born that way, you would still want to be loved, right? You would still want people to love you. And you know what he kind of looked like? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. You know that man on Men in Black Part Three? It's kind of a chubby white guy, and he was the one that he was like an oracle for them. Like, he could tell the future. And at the end, like probably about the mid to the end of the movie, he takes off his cap, and like all of his head looks just like that child's. Like, and so instantly I could pick up on this being like a really, really special person. Like, I think that he, like, okay, sometimes people that are born like that, they can have really, really special gifts. So when you look at them, like, it's almost like when you look at that guy in the movie, and it's really heartbreaking. That, but I think that because when I said it, like, because I know people think that being an empath and a medium is crazy, but normally when I come in contact with a spirit, okay, normally I will say things out loud, but I began to communicate with that little boy, Jackson Bueller, with my telepathic powers. He was very telepathic. Like, there was still, he had all of his spiritual gifts. Probably would have eventually been able to talk and live somewhat of a normal life. I think that you put somebody special like that in the hands of medical doctors, and it's not going to be good. I would have, honestly, if I had a child born like that, I would have my child surrounded by shamans and healers. Because, and you know what? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure that they're, the medical field, they see everything. They see a lot of different stuff. So I'm pretty sure that she was taking the child, in and out of the doctor and stuff, and or they were taking him to the doctor, and I'm sure that there were people that loved him. It surely some of the doctors and the nurses cared about him. What really broke my heart was that there was a I think there's a YouTube page making fun of him. that that's the first thing that comes up, and I, like, guys, I swear to you, like, it's sort of kind of making me feel sick when I saw that. Hey, pretty and intuitive. So, like, that's what it reminded me of, but I could tell that his spirit came through because, sometimes when you start seeing stuff on the news, because I think they were claiming that the parents used the kid for fame. I just think that if you were somebody that is born like that, and I don't believe that's what it was at all. I don't know if they had like a YouTube channel for him, because I was looking for his YouTube channel is what I was looking for, because why wouldn't he have one, you know? And so I don't know. But I think that people don't really know how to be empathic. So just in that, 5 or 10 minutes that I was connected with his spirit, um, I could tell that he was God, very, very spiritually gifted. Because when you're born, that's what I was gonna say. If you are able to still be alive with 80% of your brain missing, then I would assume that most of that is gonna be spirit or something. Some kind of supernatural power is keeping you here or holding you together. So yeah, I don't yeah. Anyway, I had a moment. I got to get up and go, guys, in a minute here, so I'm not staying long. But, it is what it is. When you're an empath, you feel what other spirits feel. You feel that's what you do. And I think that, because like for me, I was picking up on a lot of the confusion of people just seeing this child born like this with like half of the head missing, like that, but even like looking at it, there's something above his head. And so that's why I was kind of forcing myself to look at it, because it's like when you first look, at it, it's like you don't want to look at it. It's not gory or anything. It's just astounding, And so when you have children born with something like that, because I would say that, okay, if you were to take a certain medication while you're pregnant and it caused obvious deformities or whatever, but to me, I think that this kid went beyond just being born deformed. I think that it was obviously something that happened. So I don't know, like, I'll probably do a little bit more research. But I think that a lot of people on the internet just kind of made fun of a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm just one of them type of people that I wouldn't do that. I probably would have made an excellent nurse, because I'm so empathic. Cool. Hey Shelby, how are you? So like I just, when I run up on spirits, like I can feel exactly what they are feeling. I can feel it. I can see a lot of the situation around it. Then when I looked at the picture of the mother, I like read the mother in less than 30 seconds. So I might do a reading on it. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I just thought it was really sad, but I thought he was a cute little boy. He was just so adorable. I would not, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in doing things like that. And since connecting with his spirit, it tells me that children that do have those issues that are going to be born different, they still want to be born. They do. They still, and that's what I was going to talk to y'all about. Even though they may look different, you know what I'm saying? They still want to be here because, they're here. They wouldn't be here. I don't think you would. I mean, if you didn't want to be here, then you wouldn't be here. So that's all I'm saying. But I can see why there would be controversy if somebody would say, well, why would you still have that child? And the child's going to be challenged. But yeah, hold on a second, guys. I think it's my peep. Hold on. Oh, I didn't see that. Who is that? Let me see who this is. Hold on a second. Y'all, I gotta go. I gotta go in a second. I'm gonna finish this out though. What I wanted to do research on was how the child was born like that, because I suspect some kind of magical curse or something, guys. That's what I was going to say, that I might do a reading on it. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm still got a tired job, but I gotta get out of here. Okay. I was just discussing okay, so what I find is interesting is that not only am I a medium, but I'm also empathic. So um the one thing that I could pick up from the child is that his feelings was sort of hurt. The people that were being evil to him, like saying that he shouldn't have ever been born, his feelings were hurt because of that, because he felt that. Hold on, guys. Oh, okay, I know her. Okay. So I was talking about empathism is basically what I was talking about, and an experience that I had, and then also um, telepathy is it. I believe that telepathy, because telepathy, a lot of people misunderstand telepathy. If you're telepathic, like, you may be able to work out sentences that maybe spirits might be saying, but it's almost like the words, they don't come in the form of words. It just comes in the form of knowing. So for example, it happens so fast, the way that the communication can come in, that it takes less time than speaking a sentence. Okay, so it's much faster. So uh telepathic communication is not necessarily about words, but it could be feelings, and then also it could be what's the word that I'm looking for? It could be feelings, or it could be an entire story sometimes. Like for example, when my grandmother has communicated with me telepathically, like, I know exactly, like, it's like a 2 hour conversation happens really fast. So that's what I was talking about, was empathism and being an empath, because like when I first saw it, and I think I did have a heart chakra opening moment, which feels really good. It's like a release almost. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when I first stumbled upon the video, I scrolled down past it because I didn't want to, because I knew that it was a child that, you know what I'm saying, that was born like that. And so, but then when I looked at it, I realized why I had to have that experience, and it was a lot of sorrow and a lot of pain. And I just began to, I started crying, you know what I'm saying, because it was really very sad, just the way that the world did not understand this child. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I picked up. And I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. I promise you, I'm not trying to make anybody feel guilty. If you do feel bad for something that you've done, just breathe through it and just let it flow, let the tears flow, and just, because I almost, like, I hate that feeling, like, just that feeling. It's not that it makes you depressed or anything. Like, I'm getting ready to go out. I got stuff to do. But I just, that's what I get for being all on YouTube. Huh? It's you can, you know what, you can actually just search Jackson Buell. You can search Jackson Buell, okay, and the same video should come up because I think they were talking about it on the news or something. So yeah. Oh, you girl, you making me want some coffee too. I think I am gonna have some coffee before I leave. Yeah, that's why I was gonna say that that telepathy, it does come in through thought, but it seems like the thoughts are more sped up, like it's faster. Like what might take you, 10 seconds to speak in a sentence for me, telepathy. I mean, if I'm sitting there with another telepathic person, I can sit and have a conversation with that person all day just through telepathy. Okay. I've done it. There was a few people that I've ran across that can read minds, because I can actually read minds as well. Um, but I don't go around reading everybody's mind, but I do sort of like when, especially when I'm somewhere like out. And anyway, it's too weird for me to explain that, but um, telepathy does come through as the form of thought, yes, but it's much faster, and it maybe it's just that way for me. So it's almost like you just look at each other and you just kind of know, like, just each other's thoughts, and you know what I'm saying. I don't know if y'all ever ran across people like that. Jackson, it's Jaxon Mueller, or Bueller. It might be Bueller. And but if you search on YouTube, it'll just bring up this weird channel that's cracking jokes at them and being evil. So you may want to just scroll down a little bit in some of the news things about him. I was taken aback by his appearance because of his head, but like I instantly I could recognize that he had spiritual gifts because he began communicating with me shortly after I started looking at that video. Because it was the video's titled "Miracle Baby Dies at Age of 5." Yeah, so yeah, yeah, it's very common for couples to be telepathic, or either just telepaths. Seem to. Now the question is, does he know that he's telepathic? Because I think that it'd be good if you both know that you're telepathic, for you to just communicate with each other, like for you to know and just be open about it. Because that actually will be kind of useful, though. So, yeah. Or either you can think the same thing at the same time. Yeah. Well, I know that when I looked at the video, because that doesn't happen on every video that I look at, but when I looked at this particular video, like his spirit came to me. So he ignores it. Yeah, if you have spiritual gifts, you might as well just use them and get used to them, because they're either going to end up being a blessing or they're going to be a curse. Which one are you going to let them be? So, anyway, y'all, I hope y'all having a happy Wednesday. I know I got to get up. I got to get up and I got to get dressed. I still got my nightgown on. So, I just wanted to come and talk about how um it's now, I do want to speak to y'all about being a medium and some of the experiences that I have being a medium. Um, and I have to be careful, because, and y'all do have to be careful, because I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all are A lot of y'all have more than one spiritual gift. And if you have more than one, they can all activate at any time on any of them. And I feel like you do have to have faith and trust that you'll get through it, because you know sometimes it can be pretty scary. Like the other day, when I came upon George Floyd's spirit, like his spirit came to me very angry, very angry. So, and I've got a lot of ancestors and male spirits that kept him at bay though, because his spirit was really angry. Like I picked, and a lot of people probably get mad at me because of that, but I'm just telling you what I felt. It had nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you what I felt. And so there are so many hoax videos up where people are talking about that whole incident being a hoax. So there's a lot of people. But I think, like I told you guys, even if it's a hoax, there's still something behind it, or some kind of spirit behind it, or either some kind of intent. So yeah, we're 2 days in front of a full moon. So, and I got to get myself prepared. So I've got to go, you guys. I love you guys, love and light. By the way, I have a quick question. Were any of you guys emotional like in the last hour or so? Like, I'm going to start asking that question, because sometimes when I come on here and I'm feeling a certain type of way, I notice that some of y'all say that y'all just went through the same thing. It's almost like we're synchronized. So was anybody else kind of feeling emotional? Because all of a sudden, y'all, I got really emotional over it. But that's what kind of triggered it, and it was actually okay, because I felt like, because I did kind of feel kind of congested last night. And I finally went to sleep last night, y'all. But I felt like something opened. I felt like a heart opening or something. So anyway, maybe it's too early. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Love and light.